Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. In this lesson we're going to deal with the changing of the states, and here are our states: dawn, day, dusk and night. We already have our finite state machine in place, so we just need to deal with the parameters for which they will switch on and the line of code itself to actually make the function switch. So let's begin in the void start, and I'm going to come here below the line where we start coroutine, and first things first, let's say underscore day phases. I'm going to say equals, and we want day phases dot night. We can just close the line off and let's put it into the comments. So we'll say set day phase to night, and we'll just say on startup. And that's because when I apply this to a game, I'm going to have my counter and all my variables set up so we start just a fraction before we should switch to dawn. However, that's my personal preference. You can set it to any day phase you like on startup, but we'll leave it at night for testing purposes, and that's all we need to do up at the top of the script, and we'll come to the void dawn. Let's come here below the debug log and we'll say if open brackets underscore hours double equals day start time, and there we go, double and we'll say underscore hours is less than symbol, and let's put in dusk start time. We'll close brackets, we'll open and close. So let's go through this line now. So our counter goes up, eventually it affects the hours counter. As soon as that equals our day start time as defined up here, but, or in this case, and hours is still less than the dusk start time. So we just put that in as a bit of failsafe, so we are absolutely certain that the day phase can only exist after the hours equals the day start time but before dusk. So let's get that into the comments. So we'll say if hours equals day start time, and in fact I'll put the and in capitals, and hours is still less than, and we'll just say dusk start time. And we'll come to the next line and we can actually come and let's just copy this line, what we've just put in the void start. We'll paste that in. Let's get rid of the empty lines. So if we're in dawn, obviously we switch to the next state, which is day. So let's change that there. Bring the comments back into line. Set day phase to, and we'll just change it to day, and we can lose the on startup. So fairly simple in regards to the parameters which we must meet in order to change the state and the actual changing of the state itself. So with that said, let's copy this if block and we'll paste it in today, and let's do the other two while we're at it. So for dusk and night, let's go through and change what needs to be changed. So we switch to day from here. So we're already now in the day state. So we have to deal with the next one in line, which is dusk. So obviously if hours, and I'll just copy this, paste that in. If hours double equals the dusk start time, and hours is less than, and we'll say night. So let's go through and change the comments, and we need to change that to dusk. If hours equals dusk start time and hours is still less than, and we'll change that to night. Next line, we always switch to the next one, which will be dusk, and we'll just need to change the comment there. So we're now in dusk. Now, because we'll be going past where the hours will equal 0 in midnight, we don't need any of this, the less than, and we'll just set it when the hours equals night start time. We'll bring the comments back into line. We can get rid of all that up to and including the and from the right hand side. If hours equals, and we'll just say night, we'll change the state to night. Again, we'll tidy up the comments as we go, set day phase to night time, and finally the void night. This is the one that we're now starting in, or I am, you might have chosen different, and this time we just need to say if hours double equals, and obviously we're moving to dawn, so underscore dawn start time, and hours is still less than the day start time. Again, this is just mainly for fail-safe reasons, so I always like just to make sure that we shouldn't get no glitches, even if it means just putting in a little extra code. So let's go through and change the comments. So if hours equals dawn start time and hours is still less than the day start time, and obviously we're switching now to the dawn state. Finally, tidy up the comments and we'll switch this to dawn, and we'll just save that off there. So let's downsize mono develop and we'll go and test it out. So as you can see, the day phases is set to dawn here. So let's hit play, and that should switch to night. Oh, and I have one error. Let's come back and have a look. And there we go. I must have deleted the semicolon, so let's save that off. And there we go. It's finished recompiling. That's all the error gone. So let's have a look, see if the day phase change. So as you can see, it started the game and we've automatically been set to night. So my dawn start time is 6 o'clock. So let's just set it just before, and I'll do this in code later, but for the moment, just for testing, let's set it in the inspector. So hours equals 5 and 59 minutes, and we'll change this counter to 55. It changes to the seconds. Now when this changes, as you can see, we've now switched to dawn. So let's have a look again. The day start time is 8 o'clock, so let's just set it just before 7:59. Again, I'll change this to 55, and we should switch to day, which we do. Dusk is 1800 hours, so I'll just set it to 1700 hours. 59, and again 55 seconds. Let's see if it changes to dusk, which it does. And night start time 2000 hours. So let's just change that to 1959. Let's bump up the counter in the seconds and see if we switch to night, which we do. So I'll stop that there. So now we have our finite state machine working perfectly, and we have the void set up to switch states. Obviously we have a lot more code for the states. We want a lot more things happening depending on which state we're in, but we'll leave that for another video. And I think we'll leave it here for now. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time, and until then, as always, bye for now.